So if you're a Tesla owner or just a fan, you may have noticed we haven't gotten any software updates in the last few months. Last year we'd get updates 2 or 3 times a month, sometimes with extra features, sometimes just bug fixes. But in 2020 I've received one software update, and I've seen one other software update that's out there, and that's it. I had some speculation as to why this was, and I think Elon Musk just confirmed it on Twitter. Let's talk about it. So first of all, I want to say thank you to my newest enhanced autopilot patrons, Colin and ProRace. Welcome to the frunk. So let's start with the facts. Back in 2019, we used to get software updates all the time. Check out this data from my Teslafy. It tracks everything about my car, including my software updates and when I get them. So when you look at this data, you can see in 2019, we were getting a ton of software updates, at least 1 a month. Sometimes we were getting up to 4 a month, and they were really frequent and bringing new features all the time. The last software update I received that really added any features was back in December. And this was an update mostly for the visualizations on the screen, which I couldn't get at the time because I had the old hardware. And then through the end of December, we were pretty much just getting bug fixes. And then I've received this one single update so far in the year 2020. You can tell that it was built in 2020 because the first number in a software update is the year. So after January went by, I wasn't too concerned. I wasn't thinking too much about it. But then middle of February, gets here and I'm like, okay, this is definitely strange. Something different is going on. Now I've owned my Tesla for about a year, but even before that, I've been obsessed with the cars and kind of tracking all the software updates and everything that's happening. And this is one of the longest periods without software updates, or at least without some big new features. Now the 2020 update did bring one little new feature where you can see the stats of your car, but I'm not sure anybody was all that excited about that. So check out this clip from the Third Row podcast. When they interviewed Elon, he mentioned a rewrite of autopilot.
There's quite a significant foundational rewrite in the Tesla autopilot system that's almost complete. As
really?
Well, yeah.
And what part of the system? Like perception, like planning, or just like?
It's instead of having planning, perception, image recognition all be separate, they're being combined. Yeah.
I don't even understand what that means.
Effectively, like the sort of neural net is absorbing more and more of the problem,
right?
Beyond simply if you see an image, is this a car or not, or what it's kind of what do you do from that? 3D labeling is the next big thing, where the car can go through a scene with 8 cameras and kind of paint a path, and then you can label the path in 3D. This is probably 2 or 3 order of magnitude improvement in labeling efficiency and labeling accuracy.
So Elon talks about this rewrite increasing the car's perception. So in the current code, the car looks at everything around it like a picture. So it looks at the frame and it sees, here's a car, here's the lines, these are the things I need to do. And then at the next time interval, it looks around and says, here's a car, here's the lines, whatever, and it makes those decisions. Well, that code was built around the old hardware 2.5 computer, and now cars are shipping with hardware 3 or the full self-driving computer. Anybody that bought full self-driving is getting that computer installed for free. And this computer is much, much more powerful than hardware 2.5. So due to this stronger hardware, Elon says the autopilot team is rewriting the base code in autopilot to take advantage of that hardware. So you can probably see where I'm going with this. My speculation isn't all that wild. I just figure that Tesla is waiting to finish this base rewrite before they're pushing out more software updates besides bug fixes. Now, there are some other speculations as well. Of course, the Model Y is coming out any day now. And we also have Battery Investor Day coming up, and people are speculating that Tesla doesn't want to release new code that has information about that stuff because they want to keep it hidden until they want to announce it. A lot of stuff gets leaked through code when people like Green on Twitter look into the code and see things that Tesla hasn't announced and then tell everyone about them. But my speculation was mostly revolving around autopilot. Even before I saw that interview with Elon, we know that hardware 3 is rolling out to everyone. We know that Tesla wanted to get stoplights and stop signs out by the end of 2019, and they didn't do that, even though Elon said on the conference call that it was going to be close. So they are close, whatever that means. So the confirmation came, like most things, in the form of a tweet from Elon. Somebody asked, when can we see reverse summon in beta? Which I'm assuming they mean smart park by that, but I don't know for sure. And Elon Musk responded saying we need to finish work on autopilot core foundation code and 3D labeling. Then functionality will happen quickly, not long now. He's talking about labeling, which is really exciting. We're seeing some of the hints of that with this full self-driving preview where we get to see the stoplights and the stop signs and things like that. With a rewrite, really anything is on the table. Anything could happen here. We could get visualizations like we saw in Tesla's full self-driving video. Now, that video didn't have stop signs and stoplights, but it did show intersections in more detail. It showed curbs. It seemed to show a little bit of elevation even around the car. I also noticed that it was much better at showing parked and stopped cars, and it seemed to pick up every car on the screen. Another piece of this, and why Tesla may not be pushing these software updates lately, is because they are getting closer to the full self-driving feature complete, which just means stop signs and stoplights. But if you don't remember, when they released the cones update where hardware 3 could see cones and hardware 2.5 couldn't, there was a little bit of an uproar of people who were like, what the heck, I paid for full self-driving and I can't see the cones and these people can, and I want my hardware update. And that didn't even do anything. It was just a visualization on the screen. Imagine if Tesla released the full self-driving update with stop signs and stoplights, but there were still people who weren't on hardware 3 who were going to get it. I don't think they'd be very happy. This video is sponsored by the Model 3 Part Shop. Use the code DirtyTesla to get 15% off anything site-wide. Link is in the description. So I'm still kind of in the camp that we're getting stop signs and stoplights first half of this year. That's really my belief. I could be wrong, but I do think it's coming soon. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think there's another reason Tesla hasn't been sending software updates? I'm curious to hear what you think. Thank you for watching, and you will see me in the next video.